Hi, it's Dave Michaels from Talking Points. I just got back from Peru, the nice Analyst event, and I wanted to share a little bit about that. But because I got so much travel this month, I'm going to do it from this airport phone booth. Second video this week from this very phone booth. And so let's get to it. So NICE held its analyst event in Peru this year, and actually in Machu Picchu as well. And if you think that was a little over the top, it definitely was over the top. Every aspect of this event was over the top. And NICE wanted to make, I guess, 2 points as far as I can tell. One is that they are the leader of this space, and they wanted to make the most memorable event of the year and of the possibly of the decade. And secondly, that CX involves more than you have to look at CX broadly. Sometimes we look at the destination, sometimes we look at the journey, but NICE says it's the journey and the destination. It's every interaction, every touch point, and they really, I mean, the execution of this event is so complicated, so many factors, so many variables, flawless execution, very impressive. So what I want to do in this video here is talk a little bit about NICE. I'm going to talk a little bit about Peru and the Peruvian culture and Machu Picchu, and then I'm going to, put them together and talk about the key takeaways. So let's start off with NICE. Not long ago, NICE announced that they had reached 1 million agents. And that's a pretty significant milestone, a pretty exciting milestone. When I think of agents, you often think about just voice agents, but 70% of their customers use both voice and digital services. And that's a pretty significant accomplishment as well. They're also seeing pretty significant international growth. They saw 77%, that's growth in international cloud revenue, and they're reporting that 100% of their enterprise, what they call enterprise deals now include their Enlighten AI suite. Their Enlighten suite is Actions, Pilot, and Copilot. Very impressive set of technologies that work hand in hand across the portfolio, and they demonstrated them in this event as well. Now let's talk briefly about Machu Picchu and Peru. Peru obviously is in South America. Machu Picchu is a citadel in southern Peru. It's known as the lost city of the Incas. It is the lost city, I think, is a key theme. I've heard rumors that the next analyst event in 24 will be in Atlantis. I'm looking forward to that one. But the Inca civilization is a remarkable group of people that built Machu Picchu. They had no written language. And so you can imagine the importance of voice communications and voice interactions in a culture like that. Machu Picchu was built in the 15th century, likely abandoned due to Spanish conquest and smallpox. And we also learn a lot about Peru from all kinds of aspects of Peru from the different programs that NICE gave us. So let's put this all together here. And remember, I'm traveling a lot this month, I'm traveling back to back all month, and so I might have a little bit of this confused, but I think I've got the gist of what NICE was trying to communicate with this trip to Peru. So, NICE and the Incas were both leaders, and they take their roles responsibly. Uh, they both built cloud fortresses, basically, right? So NICE has built a cloud fortress with CX1, and the Incas have built Machu Picchu on top of a mountaintop in the clouds. When we saw the clouds actually come in, it's amazing. Both of these fortresses built for centuries, as far as we can tell. Um, Now, uh, to be a leader and to think this way, you have to use tools. So the Incas used, for example, mortar and pestle to mash up seeds and herbs and spices and foods. That's called the pestle framework, and NICE has adapted the pestle framework for the way they look at the world. It's a tool for the way they look at the world. They don't use the mortar; they threw that away. But the pestle framework is a process of examining external factors, such as whether the Spanish might invade or not. PESTEL stands for the P stands for political, the Spaniards might invade, economic, social, cultural, technological, environmental, and legal. So they go through these different segments and look at things very, very carefully and critically to prepare their brand and their roadmap uh, for the world that they see, how the world is changing. Now, uh, one of the key takeaways from that PESTEL process is an update. I mean, we've heard the quote for quite some time that software is going to eat the world. Um, Barack, the CEO of NICE, changed that or updated that to software ate the world, and AI is building a new one. And and I think that's a very important point because we know that AI is completely rebuilding CX, and it's actually building a lot of the world right now. Just like software ate the world. So AI was a big topic at this event, and we looked at AI from a lot of different perspectives: customer perspective, vendor perspective, technology perspective. I guess kind of a pestle all by itself. And we talked about AI FOMO, how a lot of customers are afraid that they're missing out on AI, how customers are afraid of AI. Um, and there's kind of a sequence they go through: the fear, then they overestimate what they might do with it, and then they figure out how to use it and expand their businesses, which is an important cycle. And this brings us back to Peru. This is so important about the Incas because the Incas were, as I mentioned, cloud pioneers, but they were also AI pioneers. And I want to talk a little bit briefly about that. But the point is, the Inca brand is so strong is because brands are built around interactions. So when I was there, for example, I was enjoying Inca Cola, bright, vibrant brand, and from the 15th century. I mean, so it's amazing. And a lot of us were taking notes, and every pin has Inca in it, and and that's quite an accomplishment considering they didn't even have written language. So that's what you might call brand rejuvenation. And so brand rejuvenation is really important because it's CX that shapes a brand. So when you have positive or negative experiences with a brand or associations with a brand, it's because of the interactions and experiences you've had as a customer. And so to have a positive brand, it really requires a systematic approach. And this is what we can learn again from the Incas. So in the 15th century, it was really hard. And if you look at Machu Picchu, you can see that they built this fortress with lots of compartments, or what we might call silos today. And so that's a problem. That's not going to work. And so they had to figure out a way to get past these compartments. So certainly they had the benefit of cloudification when the clouds came in, and that helped. But they and helped with their agility and helped them figure out what was important. But what they really needed was their alpacas. So alpacas are a native animal of Peru, and the alpacas have been an important part of the Peru for a long time. And these particular alpacas were very smart, and they knew the Incas very well. And so they basically relied on Alpaca Intelligence, what they call AI, to help break down the silos. And what they did was, because these alpacas were so well trained on the Incas specifically, that they were able to put together the tech, people, and processes like never before. And this is again what NICE is trying to accomplish with AI as well. And and the key here, because anybody can get an alpaca. Alpacas aren't even expensive, but it's the alpaca that they knew that they were purpose trained on this culture, and they knew their intents and knew what they wanted to accomplish. Because a lot of alpacas you buy, they might be trained on Mesopotamia or something like that. So you've got to get a purpose trained alpaca, and that was the purpose trained AI that made the big difference. And again, so an example of that was, maybe you want to farm, maybe you want to hunt, maybe you want to transition roles. You have to embrace this continuum of roles, and then you're much more versatile, and you can create a much stronger experience for everyone else and all your customers. Now, the Incans obviously were very good at this, and archaeologists have looked at the Incans to see what we can discover from them, and they have three key philosophies, very similar to NICE as well. One is to focus on their brand, and so They built an interaction-centric cloud platform that hosts, some 4,000 visitors daily at Machu Picchu. All types of interactions, young, old, um, different races, different religions. They all come here and celebrate this brand, and that's pretty impressive. And then the second one is really leveraging their CX assets. And so in the case of the Alpacans, or the Incas, excuse me, in the case of the Incas, uh, they had dirt and they had stones, and they were able to, make incredible stairs, incredibly steep stairs. They were able to build walls. They were able to do all kinds of things. And so what NICE is trying to do is also leverage CX assets, knowledge centers, um, and the how you can bring together. It's everything from the Incas had doors and doors on rollers, even though it's very primitive type of architecture. Uh, I saw people at Machu Picchu taking pictures. I saw people taking video. So asynchronous and synchronous communications and interactions. So really leveraging those assets very nicely. Then the third thing is what we call mixed assistance, and this is probably one of the most important ones. When I was walking around Machu Picchu, I was trying to catch my breath for the most part, but there were times where I was alone, let's say unassisted, and I could really enjoy and take in the incredible surroundings and the beauty of the location, the power of the location. And then there were times where I was with a guide, and the guide was assisting me in my knowledge and discovery of this incredible place. And so these modalities actually worked hand in hand, and I was able to transition smoothly from assisted to unassisted based on my needs. And this is such an important concept, and it's again one of the things that NICE kind of brings together in their framework, as opposed to using totally separate tools and separate vendors. And so I think this mixed assistance is really important. And then, just going to close here with the Incas are gone, partly due to invasions and partly due to smallpox. But in the case of NICE, the pandemic actually made them stronger. The company has a number of incredible things going for it, cash profits, gross margins, whatever. But what they consider their most prized asset really is their knowledge of interactions and their specialized knowledge of different AI models. They have domain expertise. They have different use of these channels, really understanding intent. And so I think, I hope I didn't get any of that mixed up. Two incredible tracks here, Peru and NICE, but incredible journey. And thanks for watching.